right, guys. Hey, where's the music for this? Let me get some music on this side. Here we go. Here we go. What's crackling, everybody? Let's just get right into it. We're going to go over these MK1 patch notes. Just so you know, we have the game ready to rock. Let me get this practice mode up, right? Let me get the practice mode loaded up on screen. Let me get me up on screen. There were patch notes for this Mama Jamma. Let me get them up on screen, and we're going to go over this, all right? Here we go. Here we go. That's the stream on the restream. Did they fix Mortal Kombat 1? All right, we're going to find out, and I'm going to go over all of these notes one by one. So, what do we got up first? We got Garros. Let's see what Garros's changes are. Let me pull him up on the stream in the practice mode, and we will head down in there and see what he's got going on. It says Inevitable now has 21 startup frames, down from 26. Okay, all right. Let's see. Inevitable. Which one is that? Let me go up to the game. Let's go to the game. Which one is Inevitable? Move lists. Is that a special move? I think it is a special move. Yeah, it is. Down back 3. Alright, so that's this. Okay, alright. Let's see. This is yeah, so this starts up faster. That's actually kind of a big deal. Right? I think when the time runs out, he does something. Right, boom. And that calls out the time. Right? I think that, what does that do? What does that do? I forget what that move does, but it's faster. Let's see. Remain on the same side. Oh, this is the teleport. That's right. You put this down, and then you can teleport it to it, right? So he puts that down, and then you come over here. Right? How do we teleport to it? What's the teleport? Hold. Can only be done with 3 charges. Swaps down. Remain on the same side during Inevitable. Yeah, okay, whatever. Isn't that back forward 1? Oh, wait, we get that out. Then we can do that. Then we do that. Bam. And then so you can hold the button to stay on the same side. So that's what that does. So let's go over its change. Okay? Here, I'm going to turn the music off here. Let me get this music out of here. Shut up. Tekken music. All right, where's the patch notes? So that has 21 startup frames down from 26. That's all that's really going to do is make it to where he can kind of like not really cast it from gimmicks, but it's just that like he can throw it out there a little bit more often and a little bit faster. He still has to be careful about where he throws it. Look, if we go back to the game, right, it's still a slow move. It's still kind of slow. So you can't really do like some, you know, what is it, this shit, right? You got to kind of get, if you get into a hit, if you get a hit, right, what are we, plus 20, what are we plus on this? Oh, -2, right? What's the cancel advantage on that? Bam. All right, so that puts us at -42, making it still a risk to like throw it out in strings, but he's going to be able to kind of cast it raw a little bit faster. Time will tell if that's going to be that much of a factor. He usually, so what Garrus does is he like throws out, what's the little fucking, what is it? That, a little sand trap, right? Which one is the sand trap on the floor? Hold on, let me see. What is it? Sand trap on the floor. I don't remember his command list, right? Oh, there it is. Yeah, down forward, right? This stuff. Bam. So he's usually casting this stuff, and then he looks for an opportunity to do that, right? So he'll be sitting there, boom, get out of here. And then he'll try to get charges. So, like, during combos, right? Because he'll do time freezing stuff. So this allows him to replenish charges faster in combos. it's not really going to help him so much in open space, but this will increase his damage output because he'll get those charges for that teleport sooner. So he can do that more often. So he's good. That is a buff. It's a small buff. It's a minuscule buff, but it does buff his combo damage potential and his combo output because he'll be able to get charges more rapidly, right? Because this whole thing is like getting you like time frozen, right? What is it? Back forward one of that shit, right? So he'll do something like this, bam, and now he can get, oh, hold up. Oh, I guess I can't do it with that, right? Right, and then you can do this, and then you get another one. If you're a Garrus player and you're actually good, he's got setups, all right? I'm not a Garrus player. I'm not actually good at him. I'm just good at the game. But he's got setups he can do with that, and he can get more charges. That's the important thing. Over time, he'll get more charges mid-combo through his setups. That's a pretty significant buff. I don't know if that's going to move him up the tier lists, because he still kind of has the same problems that that every other character has, that he's not Johnny Cage and he's not Peacemaker, so he can't do the things that they do. But this will make him hurt more if he can get set up. That's kind of the problem with these setup characters, and why they generally don't do very well is, like, if they don't get the setup, they're done. If they do get the setup, then they can blow you up. But the problem is these setup characters, the way they operate is it's basically like you have to get an extra read, right? It's not so much, oh, I got the read, I got the hit, now you get blown up. It's like, I got the read, I got the hit, now I can put down my thing, and now I can set up all this stuff, and then from there I can try and get another hit and then really blow you up. And that's the problem with those kind of setup characters. So I don't think that this is going to necessarily save Garrus. It is going to make him do what he does better. In this game, I don't think that's going to be very significant, but it is a nice buff for combo video players and nerdy ass fighting game people. Like, if you just want to go in and find cool technology, this is a good buff for that. Let's go down the list now. Time fall away back kick now recovers 2 frames faster. So that's his sweep. We're going to go back to the game. Bam. That's his sweep. Okay, so the recovery on it was 33, or is 33. It used to be 35. What does the patch notes say? The patch notes just say 2 frames faster. So here, let me turn down this music here because it's kind of loud. Is it overpowering me? All right, so it recovers 2 frames faster. This is really going to be mostly a whiff issue, right? So he's still kind of dead if he like throws this out to jumps and he doesn't space it right. You know, because if you throw this out and they read it, they're going to do a jump. Also, I think up close, it's like really, really, really bad on block. What is it negative on block? -9, which is, that's death on block almost. Yeah, I think most characters have a 9-frame jab to punish that with. So if you block this up close, you're still death, but it does recover 2 frames faster, making it a little bit harder to punish. Where that's going to be significant is on the jump-ins. So as you're playing your nooch, right, and you're looking for this, and yeah, you're going to have opportunities where maybe you didn't space it and it whiffs, and they got the read and they got the jump, but because it recovers 2 frames faster, you can block the jump-in a little bit earlier. It's, again, it's not ideal that you whiff this and have to block a jump-in, but in the event that you do, it is a little bit easier to block. So this gives him a little bit more of a usable range on his sweep. Again, not a big change. It does help him a little bit here where he's going to be, you know, this is like the range where throwing the sand traps out is kind of dangerous, right? Up here, it gets kind of dangerous. You can kind of throw that one to stop them from coming in, but that's slow. And as soon as they see his arm coming up, you know, Johnny Cage is just shadow kick. They don't freaking care. Sub-Zero slide. There's a lot of moves to interrupt this thing on reaction. It starts up at 28 frames, so you're not wanting to use it there, but it has a similar kind of range. Not really a similar startup animation, but a similar range to the sweep. And so if they're looking to like mess around in that range and walk around and maybe interrupt you with like an advancing normal to like interrupt your sand trap calls, then you just go for the sweep and you stop that advance, the counter to that being the jump, so now you can block a little bit sooner. That's really all that does. It's not a big substantial change. All right, let's move to the next change. I'm not going to pull it up on screen. I'm going to read these out to you guys. Adjusted the hit regions of Sandstorm, making it to send the easier to send the opponent forward. So that's that here. And so, yeah, if you get them launched, right, I think it, yeah, if you hit them and they're kind of in a juggle state, it sends them forward. And so there are certain parts of it, right? So the sand trap, if you think about it as having two parts, the front half of the tornado sends them forward, the back half sends them backwards. So if I do it at the very tip, you see how it sends him out backwards, right? It sends him out away, but if I do it, let's see, it's the same distance, right? The same sandstorm, right? I hit him in the middle and it sends him straight up. But if I hit him like a little bit behind, you know, I cast the same sand trap, but from behind, and you see it sends him forward. So what they did was they adjusted the regions, right? I think it's not 2 regions, it's 3. So they adjusted the 3 regions to make it more likely that you're in the range to send them forward. Again, this is going to increase his combo damage, right? Because you can do stuff like this, right? That's going to give you that. So you can do that, and then, what is it, back 1? Oh, yeah, back 1, right? Oh, no, you would start it with back 1. Yeah, so you would do that. Bam, right? Back 1, 2, into the tornado. Hold on. Back 1, 2, into the tornado, and then forward 2, 4, into the time stop. And then you would do the inevitable or whatever set play you're trying to do with him. That is a buff. Just because the problem with a lot of his damage output was that it's kind of hard to really be consistent in where he launches you from the sand trap. Now it's going to be a lot more consistent where he launches you. He's not really going to get the launch away that often. He'll usually get the launch forward and a little bit, you know, of the launch straight up. Do a lot more combos with him with that. So again, like I said, a big increase to his damage. It doesn't look like they're trying to fix Garrus in the sense to make him competitive with the other characters at what they do. It looks like they're trying to make Garrus competitive with other characters in the sense that he's just kind of better at what he does, which is when he gets a touch, he hurts you really, really hard while setting up the next touch. Last change is increase the maximum range that Worlds Collide Fatal Blow can teleport. So his Fatal Blow, which I'm not going to do it right now, we've watched it enough times, but he does like a little animation and then teleports to you, and it's kind of like an anti-zoning move. And so they've kind of made the maximum range that he would teleport forward, so he can punish projectiles a little bit easier. There were issues in the past where he would hit the Fatal Blow and then he would teleport forward, but it wouldn't be close enough to hit the actual animation. And so it would be a waste. It's like, I countered the projectile and I don't get anything, but now I don't have Fatal Blow. So that is, I wouldn't necessarily say that's a buff. That's just a fix. Because the move is absolutely, you know what, let me pull it up, all right? Let's pull up the Fatal Blow, and you can kind of see what I'm talking about here, right? So we'll go to 1%, so you see how full screen, he does this whole animation, right, where he teleports to you. And it used to not go that far. And so if Scorpion were to do a spear, and then I'd be way over here, I'd do it, and it wouldn't go to him, it'd go like right in front, like a little ways. Like I would do the Fatal Blow here, and then he would teleport to here with the grab, and then I would just die. Or you would die. I'm not a Garrus player. So that has been fixed. It gave him a lot more ability to use his Fatal Blow as an anti-zoning tool in a game where zoning is kind of weak. So it's like they buffed something that was definitely a problem, but it was like how often are you going to be counter zoning in this game? And again, Garrus is built to be a counter zoner, so they doubled down on his strengths. I don't know that this is enough to kind of fix, to insert him into the meta. The meta right now is Johnny Cage and Peacemaker. Johnny Cage being the Rushdown King, Peacemaker being the jack of all trades who doesn't necessarily zone, but can zone. So, like, in the meta, the anti-zoner character like Garrus would be pulled out to beat Peacemaker and counter zone him. But, like, Peacemaker has solid enough rushdown that can kind of stop Garrus's rushdown. Peacemaker can enforce his proper ranges or preferred ranges, and Garrus, like, he's not that good here, and he's not, like, that good out here. Like, he's really good, like, right here and a little bit outside. But when you get to, like, full screen, he's okay. He can get all of his shit out, and there's not much you can do. But, like, up close, he does kind of struggle here, and this is, like, Johnny Cage's strong stance, or strong range, and same thing with Peacemaker. Like, he does have buttons, but they're kind of on the slow side. Like, look at that, man. Like, you know, like, this stuff is kind of, yeah, like, when you're spaced out here, he's all right, because then you can catch their buttons on a whiff punish. But again, Johnny ain't pressing buttons out here. He's getting here. Same thing with Peacemaker. So I don't think this is going to really affect Garrus in the meta, but you got to remember that fighting games are an ecosystem. And so we'll see how the other things shake out and how Garrus contributes to that. But let's go to the next person that was changed on the patch notes. We have Havoc, and it looks like they kind of made him. I'm actually very interested in these buffs. So he's got a lot of stuff. Let's pull up the patch notes real quick and we'll read over them, and then I'll kind of explain what's going on there. So we're looking at Havoc here. Chaos Kick is now 1 frame faster. That's his standing 4. And then Dislocated now has 13 startup frames, down from 15, making it start up faster. And then Drop Dead Forward 1-3 now recovers 15 frames faster and has 10 less frames of block stun. So let's go over the significance of that. Okay, so the significance of that: Chaos Kick, back kick now recovers 1 frame faster. That's this bad boy. So this move has very, very specific uses. It's pretty much like you use it during juggles to, like, end your juggles with a big launch, right? So you do standing 4. Here, let me do this one, right? Oh. Boom. Oh, that sucks. All right, let me just launch them. And then standing 4, you see how it, like, launches them away? Let me do the air combo. Right? So you see how you use it to end combos to get spacing, to push them more into the corner. And so it recovering a frame faster means that once you get that combo end with the standing 4, you can kind of move in faster, right? You can get your standing 4. It's not special cancelable, but you do have time to get one of those out before they get up, right? So you set that up, and then there you go. And then you, the whole idea is you end with that, and then they get up in time to do a wake up, and you can bait it. Because this move is, like, really, really slow. This move is really, really slow. So when you end things with the standing 4, you do these really, really slow moves. You now have 1 frame faster to get those out. Mediocre buff. This is the big one, though. Standing 3 has its startup frames drop down by 2. And so this is his combo fodder. And the problem with this move is it always has, because it has a weird hitbox by design, oftentimes it's hard to get your combos to work with that thing. That standing 3 into the, oh, hold up. Bam, right, into that. So that's going to be a lot easier to, why did that amplify? I did not amplify that. Right, so that's going to be easier to hit now. Because it starts up earlier, you can hit it later to make your combos more consistent. Because the problem was this oftentimes would whiff. You saw that if I did it really early, that the second part would whiff, right? So we'll go into there, bam, bam, right? And then You see how it whiffs if I do it too early? It would just do that all the time. But now, if you're savvy and you work on your execution and you do it late enough, which I didn't there, right? You do it late enough, and you'll get oh, hold on, let me not suck at the game, right? You do it, that's the wrong one. Right? You do it late enough, and you'll get the combo. Oh, now I can't do it, right? I can't do it. You gotta dash. There we go. Oh, I didn't do it late enough. See? See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. There we go. That's about where you want him to hit, right? Kind of like in the middle of his waist. That's where you want that move to land. And so it does, like I said, I'm looking like sideways at the screen. And so I can't really gauge my timing that well, but dude, I'm gonna land this shit, dude. Now I'm getting mad. Now I'm like getting really mad. No, that ain't it. That ain't it. Whatever. I'm not gonna land it. That's gonna be more consistent. That's not even the combo I would do that there, but you get the idea. So that's gonna be an important change for Havoc. That's a big one. Because again, his combos will be more consistent and he will drop that less. I think the big one that he would use that off of is after the launch. That, and then you go here, right? And then that. Yeah, so that's going to be a lot more consistent. You actually don't want to do that as late now. Yeah, you used to want to do that one really late, and even then, it would get jacked up. But now, look, dude, you can do this shit easy. Oh, hold up. Hold up, right? You can do it really late now. Oh, but see, I'm like really struggling with the fucking screen on the side, right? Bam. Oh, that dropped there. You can do it earlier now, and that should be more consistent. Big buff for Havoc. Big buff, because he really gets so much damage off of this. Like, especially if you have cameo setups, right? Like, where's Molina at? Or no, what is it? Oh, no, it'd be like Katana, right? You do that, and you get that, and then Katana into it, right? And he's got stuff he can do from there. I know Cyrax and Kano give him big launches off of that. So you really want to get that in your combos, and that'll be more consistent. Drop Dead Forward 1-3 is now safe, I believe. So let me set him to block. This is the big one, right? This is the big change that I think is significant. This used to be death on block. So you see now, it's -6 with a huge pushback. That is some huge pushback there. Hold on, let me make sure. Yeah, so we have this huge pushback. So it used to be -15, and he'd be right in your face, like easy to blow up. This was death on block. So you know, the idea is you have this, right? Forward 1-2 into the mid, and then you can kind of go into the overhead there to mix them up. And if they're just passively blocking, right? If they're passively blocking and waiting for that overhead, you do this to mix them up. But the thing is, if they reacted to that, which this is kind of reactable, if they reacted to that, you just died. So, like, and forward 1 is a very important approach tool. You look at the startups 11 frames, it's a high, but, like, you get forward 1-2, and, like, yeah, that's good stuff. Like, you can go in, right, down poke, and you'll catch a lot of, like, you know, when you do your down 1, backdash into that, you'll catch a lot of whiff punishments with that bad boy. So you really want to have that also just dashing in and forward 1-3 or dashing in forward 1-2, right? And then you can go into dumb shit, right? Or you can just go forward 1 into this, right? Because they're going to be passively blocking that. And then you can throw that in to mess with them. And then that, right? That's where the mix-up. He needs this more than this. It's just this makes it easier to enforce this. And so this now being safe means that Havoc, he struggles to get in. He gets zoned, but once he gets in, his tools that he needs to really enforce his mix-up game, they're not going to get him murdered for attempting to play his normal game. So this I think is the biggest change for Havoc. The standing 3 change and the standing 4 are okay for his setup and combo game, but forward 1-3 allows him to use his other buttons because this is such an important mix-up tool. Not having forward 1, 2, and then mixing them up with that is kind of rough, because you can hit this, and then if you're mid-screen, right, and you're now -6, you can shimmy and then catch their poke, right? So you'll do this, they'll try to down 4, and then bam. You know, you do that, down 4, I stepped on your shit, and now I can get the launcher. What's the other button? Forward 4, 4. You know, usually you do that into a special move, so you can get your setups there. Very important. Very important. Let's look at the next character. Oh, man, this one's going to be fun. This is a fun one. We are now on Johnny Cage. How are you guys doing in the chat? Oh, shit. My chat actually is starting to show up. Hey, YouTube, how are you guys doing? My chat, I don't know why. It's been fucked up. The audio is good. You guys can hear me? Awesome. Awesome. I'm going over these patch notes for MK1. And we'll see if they are significant. And yeah, thank you guys for joining in. Finally, the chat caught up. There is a new setup that I'm trying right now, and so far, so good, man. Fingers crossed the stream don't die. But if we look at the patch notes now, we look at who is up, and it is one Jan Carlton. And these patch changes, or these balance changes, aren't really a big significant deal. Let me get into the game here. Right, and if we look at what they did with Johnny, so show off parry now has 8 startup frames, up from 6. Enhanced parry now has 4 startup frames, up from 0, and has a bigger whiff recovery. And so his parry, I think, is down back 3, right? So this, if he it starts up slower, and so a lot of his games are this, right? He'll do down 1 into that shit, and that's the problem, is you do down 1 and you think you have a turn, and then you take that, right? And then he parries you and he gets a combo, right? So that is the dangerous thing. That is actually harder to do now. He has a bigger gap from when he down ones into the parry. And that allows you to basically interrupt that thing. You can interrupt it if you're on point, because even though it's a parry, there's a startup to it. Okay, this doesn't actually reverse your attack until the 8th frame. So if they do something like a down poke into it, do I have fucking... Turn that shit to short. Right? Button shortcuts. Single button moves. Yeah, I need that off. Okay, we're good with that. Alright? Okay. There we go, right? So he does his poke into that. You can now interrupt that easier. Like if you have an armored move or something like that. Also, what it does with the longer startup, if you look at the recovery, it's 30 frames, right? So when he does it, you can react to that now a lot easier. You can see that he's trying to bait your button, wait for the parry to recover, and then he dies. And then the amplify, right? That right there, yeah. So this one used to, oh, that's not what we want. No, don't do that, right? The amplify used to be faster. It used to be 0 frames. So even if you were doing that down poke into that, can we do down poke? Right? If you're doing down poke into that, you could often just brute force and be like, nah, you know what? I'm going to brute force it with the amplify. Well, am I going to get the amplify? Can I get the amplify? Dude, what is up with these inputs? Look at my buttons. Bro. Why can't I get this amplify? What is that? There we go. You know what? I'm going to turn off that one setting. That might be why it's fucking me up. Button shortcuts. Input timing long. We'll keep the button shortcuts off. We'll keep input timing long. There we go, right? So he would brute force that because it was 0 on startup. Now it's 5 frames on startup. You could still get caught with that gimmick because there's not really anything that's less than 5 frames in this game. It's not like Street Fighter where you have 3-frame normals where you could interrupt that. So this is going to be, you're going to have to spend meter to get this gimmick to work. And also, they changed it to where he has more recovery frames. Oh, I'm out of meter, right? So now you can't like change the recovery on that, right? You could delay this before. And then you could cancel it earlier, right? If you held the button longer, he would do a longer animation. And then if you let it go sooner. But now that's all gone. It's just the same whiff animation that is 30 frames. Well, on the active, yeah, no, on the Amplify it's 30 frames as well. That's seeable, so you can see him do this shit now and punish it. This does create gaps in his offense, so he can't like really do this as much, right? So he used to do that, and you had to respect this and this, right? This into like his dumb shit. You had to respect it because the threat of like that, right? You had to respect this, and then you would do that, and it's like, oh, fuck, right? Because you know this is 2 hits, so you're sitting there waiting for the second hit, and then he goes for the parry gimmick, right? He goes for that, and he's like, nah, haha, parry gimmick, and then you get blown up. He's got to be more careful about that. If he shows his hand, you can punish it. That's not a significant nerf. It does kind of nerf that gimmick, but he still can do his typical Johnny Cage shit. Enhanced Shadow Kick and Enhanced Shadow Kick now has 10 startup frames and has 2 more recovery frames on miss. So this is a big one, right? So this is a lot slower. A lot. Starts up in 10. Okay, used to start up in 8. That's still unseeable. But the thing is now, what the change to the startup does is it makes it harder for him to react to you and punish you. So Johnny's, what makes him scary is in here, right? This is where he's actually weak. This is his weak range. None of his buttons do shit, right? He's got to get in here or he's got to get out here. And then if he's got like a cameo, he can do some shit out here. But for the most part, when he's here, he's really, really weak. But he can kind of fuck you up because if you whiff a button, he'll just go for the shadow kick. This is now harder to do on reaction. He has to react to the button, the whiff, earlier. And if his timing is about a little bit off, you're going to block, right? You can bait it with jabs easier now, right? Bait it and then block the shadow kick and then punish him because it's still death on block. It's still what? Minus 18. So you could punish him with whatever the hell you want. He's still going to die. So that's what that did. I don't know what else they can do with this character. I feel like these changes, this character has been a problem in the meta for this game the whole time. We're almost on a year anniversary now, right? Has it been a year? And this character has been a problem the whole lifespan of the game. It's because everybody says that it's a problem with the design of the game, that this game is designed bad. And I'm like, no, actually, it's because Johnny Cage is designed so well. He is the perfect rushdown character. He has everything he needs to do it. And in a game where rushdown is strong, the strongest rushdown character is the strongest character. I don't know how they could nerf him to, like, make him, on the level of the rest of the cast without just making him not work. I feel like these changes made it to where if he makes mistakes, you can actually have a chance to open him up now, right? Because before, he can kind of do this shit for free because he always had that threat. That threat is now kind of mitigated. It's still there, but it's not like an amazing, awesome tool he can take advantage of. He's still got to spend meter to get like the guaranteed uninterruptible setup. And now if you read that, you have a lot of time to get a big whiff punish. So is this going to change Johnny? I don't think so, because all of the things that they nerfed on him are things he can cover with cameo. And that's kind of the problem, is that what are you going to nerf? Whatever you nerf on Johnny Cage is only a nerf if his cameo is on cooldown. That's how Johnny works. Johnny Cage is overpowered unless his cooldown his cameo is on cooldown. Then he's got problems and he has to take risks, but they're risks that are very in his favor. Because again, like, he could just not do the cancel, right? He could just not do this shit and just do this and then go right back into it. That mix-up, that mental stack mix-up is still there. It's just, if he gets too predictable with this, you now can be more confident interrupting him. And if he's going to try this shit, you can make a read on it. You can set him up, right? You can condition him to attempt this shit, right? You can condition this and then blow it up. It takes defensive conditioning, which a lot of you guys aren't very good at. But defensive conditioning is stuff like taking the throw, right? So the idea to defensive condition is, this is coming. He's going to do that. So you let him and you press, right? So he does down 3. The parry's coming up. You don't care. You down 1. You give him the parry. Now he's like, oh, this guy will press. I'm a parry. and then that's how you defensive condition him. You can do that more against Johnny. The problem is you have to give him some parries. And if he does the Amplify one, he gets a combo. So that's still, it's still a risk in his favor. You still got to press the button, take the risk, and then if he did the Amplified, you're getting launched. So it's like a combo either way, but like it's not a very good risk versus reward. Johnny is still going to be strong, guys. Johnny is still, I don't think that Johnny can ever not be the best character in this game. I gotta be honest. I can't see a world where Johnny's not in the top 5 of this game without some substantial changes to the way cameos work. And like, Johnny Cage will be nerfed when this game gets a zoner who can abuse cameos the way he abuses cameos for Rushdown. That's kind of the problem with the game balance as a whole, is there are no characters that abuse this game's cameo system the way Johnny does. You stick 80% of the cameos with Johnny and they just make him good. Right? He can really make his gameplay work with any cameo. The ones that are overpowered just make him oppressive. The zoning characters can't do that, and until there is one that can oppress him as much as he can oppress them with their cameo, he's just going to continue to maul characters, and I don't see that ever changing because I don't see NetherRealm giving us a zoner as oppressive as Johnny is a Rushdown. We've lived through Zod and Injustice 1. The community, the world, not the community, because there's some fucking bitch-ass zoner players that don't want to do nothing but spam projectiles full screen, and they want to bring that shit back, but they're a small minority of the fighting game buying audience. Everybody else thinks standing full screen and spamming projectiles is stupid and lame, but like that's kind of what Johnny does. He stands in your face and he spams normals. So like, yeah, like, this is more exciting to watch than like standing back here and doing fireballs. So I don't see that they're ever going to make a character that can be oppressive full screen the way Johnny is oppressive full screen. Just because they know that people are saying that Johnny Peacemaker meta is a touch of death for this game, but I honestly think Johnny Peacemaker are one of the only reasons why this game is surviving. Because Johnny and Peacemaker, yeah, they're boring right now, but at the end of the day, they're still more interesting to watch than other characters. Yes, this down 1, backdash, forward 3 nonsense is boring, but it's only because we've been watching literally this for a year now. But for the most part, this is more entertaining than me standing back here and just doing projectiles all day. I'm sorry, that's the way it is. If you're a zoner, you just gotta hold that. You're boring, people don't like you. That's not my choice or decision. Let's pull up these, let's go back to the patch notes as we grab the next character. So yeah, at the end of the day, I think Johnny is still going to be good. He's still going to be Johnny. He's still going to do the Johnny thing. It's just if he wants to be stupid, he has to take a risk and you have to respect it. If you do not respect him, he can still blow you up and you can still die. So just be careful with that. Do not get stupid about Johnny Cage doing what he wants to do. Let me get this other character up. Now we have Katana, I believe, is our next character. And so we're going to look at this. Reduce the combo damage scaling of square wave and enhance square wave. So we'll go back to the game. That is her, this shit, right? This shit. Is it down back 4 or down back 3? Back forward 3? I forget. What is the input? It's the butt thing. Well, it used to be the butt. It's not the butt anymore. Oh, down back 2. Right, that. It's not the butt anymore. In MK11, it was a butt. But this has less damage scaling, and the most important thing is the amplified one. This is really key. So a lot of Katana, she's the combo queen, she's the juggle queen, right? And so a lot of her damage comes from launching you in the air and doing dumb shit into that shit, right? She'll jump up, do a jump kick or whatever into that. And this is significant because you can cancel it into other moves when you do the amplify. So what she'll do is she'll jump up, do that amplify into like some other, here, let me turn off the block. Alright, what does she have that juggles? What is her fan lift? Let me give fan lift. Fan NATO, down back 1, right? What are we doing? There we go. Yeah, so that shit, right? She hits that and then does this shit, right? And then when she does the amplify, you can do it again. Well, you can do other stuff, right? So she could do like a lot of that shit. And that's where a lot of her damage comes from. Especially when you do her air moves, like, because she can do all of her shit in the air. All of her moves are air available. So you would do stuff like the air fan NATO after canceling it. So you would go and, what's the launch again, right? Is down back 1. So you would do that down back 1 and then that. Hold on. I don't play Katana, but you would do that shit, right? So, like, that's the dope shit there. That's the shit that you want. You know what I mean? Like, that, and you can do all those setups with that. And you can spend your bar. So if you do another one, you can do another one of these after that. That's kind of the kicker there. So we get her up there. Boom, boom, boom. You could just keep going. But the idea is she can cancel into these to give her setups. The thing is, if she wants to go all in and maximize her damage, adding those, right? Because she does have combo extensions off of that. She'll do this dash kick, and then she'll extend it with that and get a further combo, but the scaling would just destroy her. Katana is a guerrilla fighter, right? She's a hit and run guerrilla fighter. She's all about getting in, getting her stupid shit, right? I'm gonna get in. I'm gonna do this. What is it? 2-4-3 or 2-4-2? Right? Oh, 2-4-1. Yeah, 2-4-1-2. Right? Into that shit. And then that's it. But like, she doesn't have good pressure. So she like sits back here and like throws shit at you. And then when you get in close, she gets her fucking damage out. And so she needs to make sure that her damage is big when she touches you. She's not a character that touches often. This is going to help her maximize her damage output. This is the only change for Katana, but I do think that this is significant. I don't know the actual numbers of how the scaling has changed off of that, right? I don't know how, oh, so, you know, I don't know, oh, wow, so you could do some shit like this, huh? You could do that shit, huh? Ooh, I bet you. Damn, bro, you could go into that shit? Bro, there's a lot of shit you can do with this. Hey, what's up, Jago and Wheeler and RoboCop at at the Twitch stream. Yes, we are up and running. I'm trying to go through the patch notes and then we'll party afterwards. Thank you all for stopping in. Sorry if I'm ignoring the chat. I'm not ignoring you. I'm going to go back, but I want to make sure we cover these and not get distracted. You guys are very excited that I'm doing Mortal Kombat content again, so let's just go right into it. Let's move to the next character. Final thoughts on that one. So I do believe that is going to be a significant buff for Katana. That buff, I believe, is going to be a big deal. I think it's going to help her a lot. Will it put her up in the meta? I don't know. I don't know how that's going to get her as far as the tier lists go, but it does make what she did before a lot stronger. And it's made it to where, so using that launch to get combos will give you more damage, but also if you use it at the end of a combo for a setup, you're not going to sacrifice as much damage as you would have. So normally that's how like these set characters work, right? You either go for combo damage or a setup, and if you go for the setup, you give up your damage. Well, with Katana, she's not going to give up as much damage. You're still going to give up damage, but you'll get a little bit more damage. This is a nice buff. I like this buff. If I were a Katana player, I'd be really excited. I mean, she didn't get a whole lot of changes, but I feel like that change really opens up a lot of possibilities for her. It really, really just hammers down her air setup gameplay style and makes it more rewarding, what she already does which is what Katana fans play her for, right? Everybody that plays Katana, she does the same shit she's done since Mortal Kombat 2. She zones you with fans, and then when you get in, she baits a button, hits you with her long-range normals to convert into big damage, launches you in the air, does a really cool flashy air combo, and then goes back to zoning. She doesn't really play neutral so much as she hits you, and then she runs, and then you chase, and then you hit her, or she hits you, and so on and so forth. So yeah, I think that this is going to be very, very big for Katana. Very, very big. Who is our next character? Let's take a look. We got Lee May. Let's pull up the melee character. We're going to get involved in a melee. What's her normal assist? She's a scorpion usually, right? Let me pull up the game and we'll go over the notes I have here. So first attack in Pancratian Champion, which is 4, 3, 2, 1. Now has 16 startup frames down from 19. This is a big one, okay? So she uses this string a lot. Like, she really... So this is like her most important move, this back 3. This is the most important move. Once she enforces this move, then she can start using her highs. Okay, so she plays the neutral, and she does this shit to get you to stop neutral ducking, because she has a lot of highs. She also has that, what's that, mid overhead? Yeah, she's got this that you can cancel, right, and then go into it. She does a lot of stuff to scare you into this, right? This is the big boy, okay? Because she knocks down with that, and then she can get her fucking hit confirm into that, right? So you can do that, bam, boom, and now you've got your launch. This is a very important hit confirm for Lee May when she's established that you're afraid to neutral duck. And so this being 16 frames instead of 19 means A, you can no longer react to it. This being 19 frames made it seeable. So 19 frames is the edge of seeable. We've discussed this a million times, but 19 frames is the edge of seeable. Pro players are going to see this, okay? Whoever at Ninja Killer was going to see this, okay? He was going to react to that, see that high, and blow you up every time. Now he can't. So when you go for that, right, he's going to react to that, hold the block, because the only way to stop this is to interrupt it. You have to interrupt that. Once she gets this out, you're stuck. If she hits, you see she's plus 14, but on block, I believe it's still plus a fucking bunch, right? It is block advantage 3. So you still have to hold whatever she does after this back 3. You have to respect that, okay? And so, but there's not much you can do, right? You can do that. You can YOLO a special move. But if you're wrong, you die. So you want to really go for the hit confirm, and this allows you to get that. They can no longer react to your hit confirm. They have to guess, right? So when you go for that and you get that block, they have to guess if you're going to down one check, because you do this, you're at +3. Are you going to down one check or go for a high? The high is the hit confirm for the special move, right? You see how long I have to hit confirm that? That's a long time. Look at my inputs. You can see how long. And again, I'm literally looking at half of the screen. I can't even fucking see the screen. And I'm hit confirming this shit like super easy. This is a very easy hit confirm, right? Very, very easy. Very important hit confirm. She can use it now. Sorry, I dropped my chat. She can use it a lot more consistently. This makes her mix-up game and her rushdown a lot better. It's harder to interrupt. It's harder to react. You have to hold it. And I believe on block, I forget what this is on block, but I believe it is safe on block. Yeah, -5 on block. So you can sit there and you can do this, hit confirm it, and then block, hold their button, and go from there. Do note that I believe there's a gap point between this and the second half. So in order to get the second half, you do have to dial the whole string, right? You can't just go 4, 3, 2, and then 1. It won't come out. So like this is your hit confirm. That goes in, right? And then you can hit confirm the rest. That'll give you one more hit to hit confirm, and then you can go into your special move. Very, very easy hit confirm. This is a big buff. This is a big buff. Okay, this I think could be a game changer for Lee May. Because now you absolutely have to respect that shit. You have to respect that if she does this, she could do shit, right? She does that, that's coming. And she can play these mind games, because remember, there's more to mind games than just mid, overhead, low, high. The mind game, if you play real superior nooch, okay, that's our catchphrase, right? If you're playing real superior nooch, the actual mix-up at all times is button or not. And this makes her rush down just devastating, because button or not. Am I going to do the fucking string? Are you going to hold that? Are you going to try and armor through this and then I can block and blow you up? You know what? I'm going to steal a turn. You want to press? Okay. Yeah, let me do this. Let me do this. Oh, all right. You just hold my pressure. Hold my pressure. You can't do nothing. You don't know when it's coming out. And again, because you can't react to it. All right, next change. Sky Lantern, after being ignited by a Nova Blast, now hits mid and causes 10 more blocks done within slightly increased pushback. So the Lantern, I believe, is that. And then if you would hit it with that, it would hit mid. Or it would hit high, right? So you would put that out, you would hit it with one of those, and it would hit, the explosion would hit as a high. The problem is, right, so you do it in the air. You throw that out and you blow it up, right? And see, now he has to block it. Now he has to block it. Here, let's put him in a neutral crouch, right? We'll put him in a neutral duck and he won't block anything. And you see, now he can get hit, right? Look at that hitbox, man. It's got a huge hitbox, right? That explosion. Oh, I got to time it though, right? We can throw this out and he has to respect it. Bam. Oh, I can space it right. Let me just time it right above his head. There we go. He has to respect it. So if you send one of these out and he's neutral ducking under that, you could fuck him up with this now, right? You send that out and he's like, I'm going to neutral duck. Oh, you are? Oh, you are? Lee Mays are going to be a lot better at the instant air fireball, right? The instant air fireball, I think it's like up, back, forward. Yeah, up, back, forward. So you do that, and then you do up, back, forward, boom, right? So you throw that. Oh, he's ducking. He thinks he's bad. Fuck you. You are not bad. Oh, that is really easy. Yeah, practice your up, back, forward, so you can do all kinds of shit, dude. This is really good. This is actually really, really good, because you can sit there and do this shit, right? You can do this shit into that, and then get your pressure there, right there, into that, and then bam. Look at that. Look at that. How much is he plus on? How much am I plus on that? Oh, hold up. Let me get it up. Ah. We are... Oh, it doesn't say... I can't read it. It's too far. Hold on. Let me tilt my head. Damn, it's not giving me my block advantage. It's not giving me... Maybe I'll give him the minus... What does it say on Kenshi's side? It don't even say. It don't say what my advantage. Just know that it's real fucking plus, and it's a lot more effective to do that now. That is a lot better. Also, the pushback has been changed, so when you do this, right? When you do this, it does give you some space now. Gives you some range to work with if we don't suck, right? Don't suck at fighting games, and you can do all your moves, right? You see that pushback. So when they block it, you can now get some pushback and get another projectile out. If you don't suck, right? So, come on. Boom, and you can go into another one, and they kind of have to play that mind game. Next thing, Lion's Pounce forward and 3 now has 3 more active frames and recovers 7 frames faster. This bad boy, right? So I told you that the problem with Lee May is that from here, there's a lot of reasons to neutral duck, right? She's got a lot of like really good advancing strings and shit. That'll get her in, but a lot of it is highs, right? A lot of it is highs. So she's got to be careful. Is this a high or a mid? Oh, that's a mid. She's very, very stuck by her highs, right? So she needs something to keep you from neutral ducking or just passively crouch blocking. And so she's got this overhead, right? And she can cancel it if you hold it. And this is a big gimmick, right? You do this shit. They expect the hit confirm. You go into that. Oh, shit. Now they're blocking. Oh, shit. Now there's that. And you go for the mix-up. No, you don't ever want to fucking mix. This is not a mix-up, bro. This is not a mix-up. Don't do that, right? But this has more active frames. So now when you throw it out there and you let it rock, her feet stay out longer, right? So before you could, you know, kind of duck under this. And if she didn't time it right, you could kind of get up from your neutral crouch and block it in time because it didn't have enough active frames. Now it has more active frames. So if you are neutral ducking and you're a little bit out of spacing and you try to like let go of your block a little bit earlier, it will still clip you. Okay, so be aware of that. It also recovers 7 frames faster. So they really want you to just kind of throw this thing out, right? They want you to do this, right? Do this and then into this, because remember, this is like, you know, this is really good shit, right? And then, you know, you can cancel it. The real strength is in the cancel. Okay, so we need this to be better to make this worth taking the risk. This is risky, but very nice. That makes the risk worth it because this is better. Okay, so that's a pretty significant change. Not as big as the first two. All it does is it kind of gives you a reason to throw this out more. Willy-nilly when you've got to read on them blocking, right? When you got to read on them blocking, you can throw it out a little bit more often, but the other changes were the ones that were significant. I got to be honest, that one's kind of a kind of change. Let's go to the next character. Ooh, this one. Okay, this one I love, man. This is the happiness. Okay, let's pull it up. Natara, front punch, 1, 2, 4. Can now be 2-in-1 canceled and does 20 less damage. And oh man, this is actually a pretty big buff to me. So let me go over into here. Let me pull up the game. A lot of people are discounting this buff, right? So you can do, let's see. You can do this, right? What is it? Isn't it that? Yeah. Right. I can't cancel that. Yeah. So there we go. We can do this stuff. Okay, the reason why this is important, you got the high, mid, okay? Your other hit confirm off it is that. That is not safe. Now she has this. That is safe. There's gaps. You could blow it up, right? You can blow this up, but it is now an easy 3-hit confirmable string that ends in a mid, right? You can do stuff like, what's the fucking the fucking buff? Down. Oh, down forward, right? You can do this shit. You could do that shit now, right? You can actually stagger with this. Stagger. This is significant. This is significant, right? Because you can go do that to enforce the block, get your plus frames, backdash, get the sweep to eat their button. They're blocking that. And now we can go into that, get the buff, go right back into our pressure. We can do that into the buff, right? That. Oh. There we go, right? Oh, why can't I get that 2-in-1? There we go. Right? That's significant, man. That is significant. Those of you that are Natara players, this really, really buffs her pressure and her mix-up game. Because it makes it to where you're not stuck with this, dude. Her close-range game is so predictable because she's got this, she's got that, she's got that, and she can do this. Right? You got that. But if you do this, all you can do is this. That's it. That's all you ever got. So you can hit confirm that, I guess, if you're godlike. It's kind of hard to hit confirm. There's a gap. Okay, if they read it and you're getting too predictable with it, they can blow that up. But you can do this and now block, and you're safe. -7 isn't really safe. That's like down 1 punishable. But you can do that. They have to take the read on the down 1. They have to take the risk, right? You can do that. Boom, into that. And this allows your buff application gimmicks to be even more powerful because you can do that, right? So you have a mix up here where you can go standing 1 into buff, then you can go standing 1, 2 into buff, or you can go standing 1, 2, 4 into buff. So you see how after the forward 1 buff, I can go standing 1, 2, 4, respect it. You see how I'm still chipping him? He can't block. He has to hold that. He can't block, and then I can go right back into it. Bam. You see how that just loops into itself. And you look, let's go and pull up his health, right? Practice setting. We'll pull up his health, and you will see that this is some significant chip, dude. This is some significant chip, right? We're going to start the chip game, right? Start the chip game, okay? Start the chip game. Oh. Oi. Right? And then bam. Bam. Right? Right into the chip. And you see from just that regular pressure, right? I didn't even go for a down one. It was all jab pressure. And I've already taken, a little bit more than 25% of his health. That's significant, guys. Don't get it twisted. That's a pretty big buff. If you're one of those Nataras that's just a stupid idiot that just like kinds of goes, I'm not going to name names, but if you're just trying to like jump around and fish for amplified dive kicks and YOLO dumb shit, you know, this shit, right, back four into like a special or a cameo, yeah, you're not going to be really getting much juice out of her. But her buff, as I've said from the start, guys, ever since they buffed this move, this has become a significant part of her gameplay, and now it's just that much better because she has one more string she can get that buff from. And a lot of Nataras are like, this isn't really significant. It just, her combo damage is trash. And I'm like, this is not intended to fix her combos. This was intended to get her better pressure and better setups. Okay, that's what that was intended to do. Let's move on to the next item on our patch notes. How is everybody doing? It seems like the stream is holding up. We are going over these patch notes live. I want to thank you guys for showing up. We are going to cover the season hero. Let me hydrate real quick. Let me hydrate. Ah, fuck. Woo, man. God, it is so hot. All right, anyways. We are now on Reptile. Let's look at Reptile. Reptilio. Okay, I'm going to pull him up on stream, and we're going to read Devastating Blow away to now recovers 4 frames faster, has 5 more frames of block stun, and then the same move, back punch, but held, and then charged to its maximum, now recovers 5 frames faster. This really buffed up his overhead, right? So we got the overhead, this move. Okay, so if you look, it recovers. Hold up. Can we do it? There we go. Right? Bam. So on the normal one, it is an overhead, and it's now -2, which makes it safe. The startup is still very slow, so it's reactable. But the idea is you're not really using it up here. Unless you're going for, like, you know, gimmicks or whatever. You're using it back here, right? You're using it back here, and if he charges it, he really leaps into there, and he gets a launch. It recovers faster, allowing him to take advantage of that +2, right? So when you get this charge, that +2, right, it'll allow you to at least get a, what is it, a down 3, down 4 sweep, right? You can at least get a sweep to mix them up. And what's the sweep startup? Sweep is 11 frames. So boom, boom. So that +2. So that makes you have a 9-frame sweep from this range, right? 9-frame sweep. If they press and they try to down 4 to contest, you sweep them and they're dead. It enforces that mix up a little bit better, makes it a little bit stronger. And again, if you get the launch, he can follow up a little bit better. So, you know, he would recover a little bit slower. It was a little bit harder to get combos off of it because he would recover a little bit later. Now he recovers faster. You know, it's 4 frames. So, or that's on block stun, right? 4 frames faster. Oh no, 4 frames faster and 5 more on block stun. Okay, so if it does recover 4 frames faster, so you have 4 more frames to work with to convert. That doesn't give him more combo options. It just makes the combos he has more easier to do and more consistent to pull off. This isn't necessarily a buff for Reptile, more so a nerf to lag. He's not going to it's not going to change how he uses it. It just makes it easier to use. Let's see, Tale of Two Hitties, back punch, back kick, or sneaky lizard, forward 2 through 4. Now recover 3 frame faster on hit and have 5 more block stun frames. So we have that, right? 2, 4. This is like his quick, like shimmy knockdown, right? You're gonna move because he's got that standing 2, right? We do that, bam, and then we also have the same thing from the mid, right? So he's got the high into the low, and then he's got the mid, and that's where a lot of his pressure comes from that move, right? Because he'll do that, right? And then if they're trying to duck under, you know, duck around, or they think you're going to try and enforce something off of that, you go for the sweep. And so now that recovers 5 frames faster, or 4 frames, what is he? Hold on. 3 frames faster on hit with 5 more block stun frames. So they're held in block stun a little bit longer, meaning you have more time to confirm that they blocked it and plan your attack. So it's not so quick, like, oh shit, they blocked it, let me block, right? Gives you a little bit more time to react to that. It's not really a buff, but it does make it a little bit harder to interrupt, because you have to press your interrupt button a lot later. He has more time to react to the fact that you are trying to press a button on his pressure, and he can interrupt you a lot easier. Also, it makes it to where, like, when he does that, he can go right back into this more, right? You do that, and if you are respecting this a little too much, he can go into that a little bit easier, because he has the ability to recover a little bit faster. Next thing, an acid spit, and enhanced acid spit, and acid spitball, and the enhanced acid spitball now have 5 more block stun frames. That is, I think it's this shit, right? This, okay, and what's the other one? I think it's 3, that shit, right? So his 2 projectiles have more block stun frames, meaning that, okay, so that's still death on block. There's still death on block. What this does is it makes it easier to react to the move. This isn't actually like a nerf. This is kind of, or this isn't actually a buff. This is kind of a nerf, right? Because now that he has more block stun frames, these moves are negative on block anyways. You should never do these on block to begin with, right? This is not, you shouldn't be doing, this is not a mix-up, right? Not without a cameo. Now, you can do more stuff with cameos here, but cameos are going to interrupt all that anyways. What it does is if you are being a little bit risky with this, they have more time to punish it. They have a better opportunity to react and see that it is and then punish it, because it has 5 more block stun frames. So block stun means that they are stuck in the block animation. They can't move or press or anything, but that's not +5 to block, right? It's during the minus or during the negative aspect of the move, they are stuck in the block longer, right? So say the move is like this, right? So we look at, well, we'll just use the actual move, right? So that's -16. This just means that, like, you can't punish him until frame 15 or whatever, right? So like or not frame 15, frame 5. So you can't really, like, if you press a button to punish him, it's going to come out on frame 5 instead of frame 1 of his negative. So, like, it does limit what you're going to punish a little bit. But for the most part, what it does is it gives you 5 more frames to see, because this is actually a very quick recovering move, right? Very quick startup and recovery move. Gives you a little bit more of an opportunity to punish that. And yeah, again, having 5 more frames on block stun is not a buff. You really don't want to do that move on block ever. And if he has cameos to, like, enforce that thing, you have more block stun to deal with some kind of cameos. Because remember, block stun gives you auto block. If you're in block stun and they try to mix you up during block stun, you will auto block the next attack. Right, so if he does that and then tries to do a cameo call to do like a mix-up like Striker or something, you have a better chance to auto-block those. Kind of a nerf. Kind of a nerf. Let's move over to the next one. I believe Reptile got buffed a lot last time, though, so maybe this is a knee-jerk reaction to that. I'm just coming back into the game from a long absence. Sub-Zero. Oh, man. Dude, has Tom Brady done a video on this yet? Does Tom Brady like the changes? I'm pretty sure he doesn't. I'm pretty sure Tom Brady does not like... let's see. Save as fuck. +2. Oh, it took the gap away. Ah, the gap on the spit. Yeah, there's no gap on that. You have to wait for the whole thing. Unless they're talking about Sub-Zero. But, yeah, whatever. Let's see what Sub-Zero's got here. Okay. I'm loading them up. Sub-Zero freezing point forward. 1, 2, 3 is now -7 on block, down from -12. And Blizzarding Blistered, which is 2, 1, now recovers 2 frames faster. And has consistent combo damage scaling for airborne and grounded combo opponents. Okay. All right. Lots to unpack here. A lot of technical shit. Forward 1, 2, 3 is now safe. This should have always been safe, to be quite honest. Here's the deal. Forward 1, 2, 3 has like gaps galore. I think you can flawless block that shit. And like, I think this last hit you could armor through. Like, there's a lot you could do to blow this up. The fact that this last hit was unsafe also just made it really like not worth ever committing to that last hit. Like, there's no reason to do that unless you've like you may as well fucking just do slide at that point. You know, it was like, you know, what was it, negative? It was negative -12. Like, you know, you may as well just YOLO something stupid at that point. So that being safe gives this move and this string a usage now. And you're not going to die for doing something basic. This is like a huge, this is a big like red flag for me in like NetherRealm kind of being a little incompetent with their balance. Cause this should have never been unsafe. Like, for all the stuff they took from Sub-Zero, that move being unsafe was like them intentionally trying to make him bad. That is just not good. That should have been safe. There's not a lot of mix-up, and it's not like he gets a whole lot of damage out of that, and you can blow him up in several points during that string. And then any mix-up he's got off of it is still unsafe as hell. So that's a big buff. That's a big buff to make him function. Doesn't really make him good, just makes him functional. Now he has a tool that he can actually use. This next one, 2-1, is 2 frames faster on recovery and has consistent scaling. Okay, this shit used to drop combos all the time. You would get that, right, 2, and then they would just fall, and then that part would never hit. So a lot of your enders off of a juggle, right, let me turn off his blocking. Right, so we got that, boom, boom, and so you would do shit like that, and before the 2-1 would not work, and they would fall through your combo, so that is a big, substantial change. Again, not really a fucking buff. It seems like more of an oversight. Like, dude, look at the damage on this fucking thing. 77 damage. This isn't like make or breaking your combo videos, you know, like, it's the same as this one that everybody uses instead, right? Everybody just used that. But like, you see how like the problems with that one, right? You have to do it like really low to get your combo to work. And so like, yeah, that shit, you know, you don't want to have to go real low and run the risk of dropping it. You want something up high, you know? You want something up high that's easy to hit confirm. Bam. Bam. So that's not a buff, that's just a fix. Now that move works and you can use it in a way that literally everybody on the planet. When we first saw this move, first thing we thought was, oh, that's our combo filler, right? Look at that hitbox. That's like up in the air, man. That's supposed to be for juggles, right? This is for juggle combos. Nah, it didn't work like that. So that like I said, that's substantial. Do I think it's gonna fix Sub-Zero? No, but I also didn't think Sub-Zero was as bad as people thought or say he is. I think Sub-Zero is actually pretty good. I think all this did was make him more consistent, so now we can see if Sub-Zero's good. I've noticed that as the theme of this patch, is that characters are now able to do basic shit that they needed to do from the start. So now that they can do basic shit to make them function proper, we'll see if they actually can hang in the meta. I don't know if this is going to stop Sub-Zero in his tracks or move him up the tier list, but at least we can find out if the original initial design of the character was right. You know what I mean? Like, was that, did we design a good character? You know, now we'll find out. So yeah, I don't see Tom Brady being happy about those changes. I gotta imagine that he's probably fucking furious and probably saying that this game is dead and it's the end of the world and no one will ever play Mortal Kombat again, because those are pretty insignificant changes to a character just to make him function more consistently. It's not really a buff or a nerf. It's just like, hey, now he does what he's supposed to. So yeah, I think he's going to be pretty pissed off. What do we have with Scorpion? Heavy knee forward 3, cancel frame is now 2 frames earlier and has 1 less recovery. So this is like his big launcher extender, right? So I think he would combo into, what's that fucking, what is that up thing he has? The up, I think it's down back 2. No. Let's see. Oh, I burped. This? No, that's not it. That's not it. Which one is? He's got that up. Doesn't he? Does he have a up? No, he doesn't. I guess that's a normal. Yeah, I think it's a normal. But a lot of the problems was that this would the 2-in-1s off of this would drop a lot. He would do this, and like the 2-in-1s just wouldn't really work, especially when you like combo it off of like his spear, right? And then so you would do that into like other 2-in-1s, and sometimes they wouldn't. Not so much on grounded opponents, but on airborne opponents. This shit would it would just drop and be weird. So it cancels a little bit earlier, and making it a little bit more consistent online if there's lag, and having 1 less recovery frame means that you can kind of maybe fit more in your juggles. I know, like, you would sit there and do that, right? That, bam, bam, do a couple of those off a launch. I think that this is what he really launched with, right? And then, so you could do this, bam, bam, you know, and get another one, bam, right? Oh, I don't think you can. Oh, yeah, you can do this, and then into like a cameo or something. So that's for that. Let's see. Fire Pillar thrust forward 4-3. Now has 18 starter frames, down from 19. Really? Okay, so. Oh, the other follow-up on this. Really? He has a follow-up? No one ever uses this shit. Everybody just staggers into this. Right? They just stagger into that. No one ever goes for that. Can we even 2-in-1 that? You can't do much with that. You can't do shit with it anyways. But yeah, now it is 18 frames on startup. 18 frames on startup. So it'll be 18 frames before it gets to this, making this mix-up unseeable. So it used to be 19 frames. So then this, right, this mid into the high, you could see the other move coming out. You could see him doing that. You could react to it. You could train it. It was 19 frames. You can now no longer react to this. It is 100% a guess. So this stagger, this just became legit, because now you can do this and they can't react. That's probably why we never saw it, because it was reactable and people are like, no way, dude, they'll armor that shit. You know, now they have to take a risk, because if they armor, you can block. You know, it's an okay buff. Maybe we'll see people use this, because you know that Scorpion's a real one-dimensional, man. They'll do this into like fucking this shit, right? That's kind of what you see. This stagger, stagger, stagger into this, and then call sector, right? To keep themselves safe. But now you don't have to do that. You can stagger and do that to be safe. They can't react. They have to read, but they can still blow it up with armor. And so, yeah, I think that's a pretty good buff, right? What is that, 12 frame mid? That's a pretty significant mid for the range. Nah, that's shitty range. Shitty range, but a 12 frame mid in a game where everybody has shitty mids. I think 12 frame is like the general fast mid, with Johnny just being special. I think that's a good buff to his rushdown. I don't think that is going to significantly affect what Scorpion does. It just makes him a lot safer in what he already does. And so I think Scorpion players should be happy with that, because now they don't have to waste a fucking cameo call, right? They don't have to do this and then call out and waste a cameo to be safe. They can just be like, yeah, you know what? I'm just going to dial this in. You have to respect it or spend the meter to interrupt. So I like that change. Let's move to the next character. And, oh, okay, this is a significant one. This is a big one. Pache McCare. All right, so let's go ahead and get Pache McCare And we'll get them up on screen. We'll look at these nerfs to this character. This character got nerfed pretty significantly. Human Torpedo and the Amp Torpedo now have 16 frames on startup, up from 12, and 13 more frames of recovery on miss. Or Human Torpedo actually no longer causes stumble animation when blocked and has 10 frames less of block stun. And those are the big daddy-os. This is the big one, right? So one of the things about Peacemaker that made him stupid is he can kind of throw this out and it functions just like Johnny Cage's Shadow Kick, but like you couldn't duck it. Now you can. They changed it to where you could duck it, but here was the problem before is if you ducked it, right? Hold on, I set him to block. That was the wrong thing entirely. Right, we're going to set him to crouch. Right, if you ducked it, like you couldn't really punish him. Right, now... Oh, hey, did we just get a follower? Thank you for the follower. TC Chew. Hey, is that TC? What's up? What's crackulating, right? So now, if he does this shit full screen, you could punish that bad boy, right? If he's back here and he's trying to fuck with you and zone you out and he thinks he's going to put one over on you and amplify there to armor through your zoning from full screen, you get to blow him up. He used to go way further and you couldn't punish him. Right? You could not punish him. Now you can. Also, let's get rid of this duck, right? We'll get him to stand there. Look at that. No pushback. Meaning that if he does... This was always death on block, but it was a lot harder to punish, right? A lot harder. You couldn't just, like, stand two. You had to, like, micro duck or micro dash stand two to punish it, making it very difficult. Now you just mash away. He will fucking die, right? Here, let me switch... controls there. We will record him, right? And we will just do that, boom, right? And then block, okay? So look, he does that, and I can just do a standing two, easy peasy, right? What does he have off a standing two? 2-1, right? I can just easy peasy, 2-1 into special move, and it's not even close. Not even close, pimpin'. Not even close. So that's a significant nerf. This is what made him really cheap, was that this move, even though it was dangerous to throw out, it was hard to punish, right? If it was mid, so it's like you had to block it, but there was a lot of pushback. You can't react to it. And then while he's enforcing the fear of this, you're like blocking that to stay, or, you know, under that, and he's doing this shit, right? Doing that. So you duck under, he does that, and it's like, dude, why does this fucking character have a full screen 50-50? Like, why is that something that he has? So that's gone. Fuck that. No, that's a pretty substantial nerf, and now you can make him pay for it. Next thing, Beautiful Bullet now has 10 less frames of block stun with less block, or less pushback. I think that's his shot, right? Let's see, what is Beautiful Bullet? Beautiful Bullet. Oh, Beautiful Bird Bullet. That's the low. That bad boy. Less block stun and less pushback. So now you can punish him easier. Right? Now you can punish it easier. So when he calls out eagerly and you block it. Here, let's see. I'm going to block it with a standing 2, right? We'll just see if we can block it with a standing 2. Alright, so I'm going to go there. Oh, hold on. No, I don't want to do that. Alright, here, we'll do that. Okay. Oh, I should have made him block. Okay, we'll do that. And then he's going to block. Okay? So, now he's going to do it. And we can we punish that? Does he have anything that advances? Oh, I bet that punishes it. Oh, do I have to micro? Damn, I don't think he's going to have something to punish that. Maybe that. It's going to be tough with smoke. I bet he could get a special move, right? Doesn't he have a teleport? Yeah, you can punish that. If you perfect cancel, right? Reversal. Oh, it's too slow. Yeah, it's going to be easier. This is probably still going to be tough to deal with. Maybe a cameo or something like that. You could punish it a little bit more easier on that. Doesn't push you back as far, so he can't just throw it out willy-nilly like an idiot. Let's see. Activate force field now has 30 more frames of recovery. Activate force field. That's his buff that makes him have armor. So that is down, back. What is it? Down, back. Oh, no. Forward, down, back 3, right? This thing. So he has a lot more recovery. I'm going to hold forward. I'm going to activate and then hold forward, and you'll see how long it takes before I can move. So, yeah, if he does this, right, this makes him immune to projectiles. So, like, now that when he does that, you can kind of dash in and blow him up. I believe the Amplified makes him immune to everything for a split second. For that yellow flash, he's immune to everything. So you'll see a lot of Peacemakers do this shit, right? And then try to call you out for pressing. And then he'll go right back into his dumb shit. It has a longer whiff recovery. So, like, the idea is if he goes for this, right? And he tries to gimmick you. Oh, damn it. He tries to gimmick you on that. You can go in and blow him up a lot easier for doing that. A lot easier. So yeah, that's a big nerf. Ground air offensive now has 5 less frames of block stun with less pushback. Another big nerf. What is ground offensive? Ground offensive. Isn't that a teleport? Oh no, is that a string? Ground air offensive. Yeah, that's a teleport. Oh no, that's the low eagle. Oh, okay, so same thing with the other eagle move. It is, let's see, 5 frames less block stun with less pushback. So, does that mean it's safe now? Ooh. Ooh, that does not look safe. That does not look safe. Yeah, it is. Whoa. Ooh, that's bad. Yeah, I used to push back more and you would have a hard time punishing, but I'm pretty sure everybody can punish that now. Oh, you don't want to do that like an idiot. Be careful with that. A lot of Peacemakers try to do that shit, right? They'll call in like Chameleon or cancel, right? They'll do this shit, cancel into that, and then this shit into Chameleon, and yeah, you can't do that. You'll get blown up a lot easier. This was always kind of not a good idea, but before, you know, and people try to use it as a bootleg mix-up. Now you can't do that. That's done. That's gone. That's gone. Let's see. Activate force field now has 30 more frames of recovery. We already covered that. Anti-gravity's attack now does 35 damage on block. Anti-gravity, that's the teleport, right? Anti-gravity. Bam. So they just nerfed the damage on this pretty significantly. That's all they did with that. They just nerfed it significantly. He still kind of gets in for free. You still kind of got to block it. I don't think it's up blockable, so he can still kind of like do this dumb shit into this. That was like the kind of bootleg mix-up you would see from this stupid character. It was like, lol, is you gonna neutral? Oh, lols, he's gonna neutral, right? Oh yeah, fucking eagly. Right, I remember that. Right, now he can't really do that. You can blow that shit up. And then if he does get this to get in for free, he doesn't get as much damage. He does get in for free, and he does teleport, but he is kind of an anti-zoning jack-of-all-trades style character. That's his design. That's what he's supposed to do. Right? He's supposed to zone you and do this to get around your zoning, and this to get around yours. What is it? Oh, this shit. To get around your zoning, and then do that, and just kind of be in your face constantly. Yeah, he's going to be... He's not that... It's not that he's less effective in that he can't do what he normally does as easy. He can still do the same shit he always has done. It's just his payoffs are going to be less, and his risks are going to be more consistent. They didn't make moves that were unsafe, it's not that they took moves that were safe and made them unsafe. They made the moves that were unsafe already way more unsafe. So it remains to be seen. Basically, NetherRealm has said, with their changes to Peacemaker, their statement is that nobody was good enough to blow him up, and Peacemakers got away with everything for free because people weren't good enough to punish him. So we're going to make it easier to punish him, not changing the actual balancing, but just make it to where you can do what you were going to do and it will come out more consistently. So if you make the read on him, you can make him pay a lot easier than before, and it seems like that's their answer to the Peacemaker meta. He still does the same shit, though. Like, he still does the same shit, it's just you can't be an idiot. Basically, like, carried Peacemakers are no longer going to be carried, but, like, if you were good with this character, like, he's still going to do all that shit. Like, you're still going to be doing the same dumb shit he always did. So, fighting games are an ecosystem, and the issue is that the other characters getting buffed substantially, plus him being easier to punish, might shake up the meta. Maybe. I'm not confident. Let's go into the cameos, okay? For these, I'm not going to go and just, like, pull up all of them unless it's something significant to go over. So first cameo, we have Sonya. Leg grab now has 25 startup frames, down from 29, and hits overhead, and is +1 from on block, up from -9. So it used to be on the very edge of punishable, right? The leg grab. It's her flip kick side swap combo extender. It used to be on the edge of punishable. -9, yeah, that's pretty punishable, but you had to time it. Now it's plus. This is significant because you could just throw, on top of the fact that she has her ring toss charge nonsense, now she can throw in the overhead, and, like, if you're a character with a low starter, she's got a mix-up. And it's still a seeable mix-up, but, like, she's got a mix-up now. You can't just passively block low. You have to react to the overhead, and if you react to the overhead, she's at +1. It's your turn again. That's significant. And also, now that it starts up 4 frames faster, you'll land it in combos more often. I know a lot of combos she would drop because it was a little slow, so you would try to do something into leg grab and they would just fall through. That's not going to happen as frequently. She's going to combo more often. She's got a powerful mix-up tool that leaves her plus, and that's on top of her charged ring toss shenanigans and having the assist that combos off of everything. Like, that's mostly what people pick up Sonya for, are the ring toss cancels and the air assist that combos off of everything. This is going to give her leg grab a lot more utility. Yeah, I think that this, I don't know if this is going to give you a reason to pick her over Chameleon or Kano as the meta progresses, but I believe that this change will at least give you a reason to check her out and try her, because now she's got mix-ups and they're +1. +1 on block mix-up from an overhead. What can you do with that? Pretty nasty. Pretty nasty. I think I was using her with Ashra, who has very good mix-ups, and Havoc, who had some really good mix-ups. So there's a lot of characters that I was using her with that I will try to use her with more. And I think she got her pairing with Liu Kang got stronger. It got a lot stronger because now Liu Kang has all the reasons for picking her in the first place, but now he's got just a rando. At any point I can spend half a bar a cameo and be +1, which is really strong for a character like Liu Kang. This also negates the nerf to Johnny, right? All that shit about Johnny's parry being nerfed. Now you can pick Sonya and 2-in-1 cancel into that, and now you're at plus. Like, this is kind of a indirect nerf to Johnny, but it does mean that you have to drop Kano or Chameleon. Thing is, Johnny's got tech with Sonya too. So, yeah, this is really cool. I think that Sonya is now a better cameo, and I'm more excited to see what people do with her. She's definitely more usable. That's a big one. Next cameo that got changed was Striker. Striker is a cameo that's been a problem for a while. Then he got nerfed, and now he's kind of settled down a little bit. It says fixed an issue where the second grade in grenade in low grenade toss and high grenade toss could sometimes have additional combo gravity. That's a glitch because this game is broken. So now when you do your grenade combos, I know that's a big thing for Havoc. We'll get a launch and then you'll use the grenade to juggle, to continue your juggle. A lot of characters that use Striker use those grenades to keep their juggles going. And now those combos are going to do consistent damage. They're going to hit a lot harder. This is kind of a buff to Striker. This is good. It looks like, I mean, it's not really a buff. It seems like this is a bug fix, which is kind of lame, right? So now Striker may sneak back into the meta because of this, because he's going to do more consistent damage. Let's see. Cuff now has 9 less frames of recovery on a miss, +1 on block, and Striker reaches slightly farther from the opponent. That's the move that he handcuffs you. It does like no damage or 1 damage. It teleports, like Striker teleports behind you, handcuffs you, and now it is +1 on block, meaning that Striker now has this Sonya shit. Now the cuff is not an overhead, it is a mid, but Striker does have a mid and an overhead. So now he can choose when he's pressuring, he can choose to go for the overhead, the low for knockdowns, or he can go for the mid. If it hits, he gets a +1 billion restand. If it's block, he's at least +1, and he can, not Striker, but the point character can down 1 check. So yeah, that is going to get a lot more utility out of the arrest, the handcuffs. For the most part, most people just use Striker for the bombs and the grenades, with occasionally using the arrest to check zoners and interrupt projectiles and to get a restand in combos. Now it's going to be a proper mix-up pressure tool. So this is a big, substantial buff to Striker, making some of his downsides worth picking up, like the fact that he doesn't have an easy combo extender. His grenades, they require, like, they're kind of a way, like if you use grenades in a combo, you can't really like hit confirm because they're so slow. So it's like if you do a string and you call grenades to use the combo extender and they block, like, yeah, Striker's coming out and getting hit. So yeah, a lot of his, and plus he has the lowest health, right? He has low health. So a lot of the problems with Striker get mitigated by this giving him more pressure options, giving you a reason to give Striker a second look if you've dropped him post-nerf. Next one, we got Motaro. Adjusted teleport location when main fighter isn't facing the opponent. So this is, again, not a buff or a nerf. This is a bug fix. This move was broken and stupid and didn't work. This is Mortal Kombat, right? You see smoke on the screen. Characters teleport and move around. And now if your opponent teleports and you tried to teleport and get a whole Dragon Ball Z teleport battle, it wouldn't work. Motaro, like, they would teleport behind you and you would teleport to where they're at. So now you're over there and you can't punish their teleport with a teleport. And that was kind of one of the things that teleport was specifically designed to do, to punish things, to react to something that your opponent did and have an instant, I am now behind you, punishing you for that. Didn't really work on teleports that would whiff or be blocked or whatever. Now it will, giving you a lot better counter zoning potential with Motaro, especially like weird projectiles that would move their character. Like John Cena would jump back and do a projectile, and then you would teleport and he'd be in the wrong spot and you can't punish him. Now you're going to teleport behind him. You will punish the eagle. This gives you, like I said, a reason to pick Motaro. He had problems. He had problems, and it was because, again, this game is a broken, glitchy mess. Why do we fuck with it? It's for the memes. We fuck with this game for the memes. And so, yeah, pick Motaro. See if you can punish some shit better. Final change, final cameo. Movado had his health increased from 250 to 200. I actually sat out Mortal Kombat while Movado was the meta. Apparently, he was a problem. They nerfed his health and a lot of his shit. Now they raised his health up, so that way he's a little bit more usable. Movado, so I think lowering the health as substantially as they did was probably a bit of an over nerf. They made him too strong. But like when you go and nerf his strong tools to tone them down and then also nerf the point character as well, it's that same bullshit fucking incompetent balancing that NetherRealm does of we're going to make something ridiculously overpowered when we release it, then we're going to over nerf it into oblivion, and then when everybody stops playing it, we'll throw you a couple of bones to the few people that are still playing it, but we're not necessarily going to make it like really, really good like it used to be. And you'll just settle into like the mid tier. Again, I'm not too familiar with Movado. I do know that he was kind of bullshit, and he allowed you to combo off of a lot of stuff, and he gave you a lot of mix-ups. And a lot of his nonsense has been nerfed. And again, when they nerfed his nonsense, they added this health buff. So rather than give him the OP tools back, they just removed the nerf on your point character. We'll see where this pans out. From what I'm hearing on the streets is that Movado is still good, that now that your health isn't so substantially nerfed, it makes it a little bit more poignant to try to make him work. Like there's a reason to attempt to make him work now. Is he going to replace other cameos? I don't know. It remains to be seen, but that is going to be an interesting change just because now you can pick him and pair him with like low damage or low health characters like Natara, and basically like Natara is just not allowed to use like low health cameos. Well, now you can maybe pick Movado. Yeah, so that seems to be the end of the patch notes. We covered it all. Let me go over my full final. So let's go over my final, right? My final opinion on the patch. It was pretty significant for a lot of characters that had problems, and it tried to get them into the meta. It was characters we don't see touched a lot, like Reptile and Lee May. And then we saw some significant nerfs to Peacemaker and Johnny Cage to where they don't get to do their dumb shit for free. I do think that this patch, if the game works and it doesn't take a shit on us, is a step in the right direction, because rather than nerf anybody, they kind of buffed everybody's strengths, which is what everyone was hoping for. It didn't double down on strength to make other characters feel as OP as Johnny, but at least in the little parts that like for example, Katana's always going to be using square wave, right? So in those situations that you're going to be doing what you're going to be doing, you're just going to passively be doing more damage across the board. So we'll see if that pans out. And again, it's for characters that were really, really struggling, characters that weren't really struggling or were unexplored, were kind of left untouched. I see chat saying like Shao Kahn's untouched, Ermac's untouched. Yeah, I mean, like, you got to think of fighting games in terms of an ecosystem, okay? Changing one thing changes the whole thing. A nerf or buff to Shao Kahn is an indirect change to Ashura. You know what I mean? So you got to be careful. And with as many changes as they've made to help characters in a general sense, it looks like they didn't want to do anything for specific matchups. I do think that Shao Kahn is still a scary character. I do think that he's probably still going to struggle with Johnny and Peacemaker, but now if they make a mistake, he at least can make them pay for it. And that seems to be the theme of the patch, is like they didn't really nerf anything or buff anything. What they did was they made it to where if you do what you're already going to do, it's going to be better. And if you do what you're not supposed to do, it's a worse idea than it was before, and you will get punished significantly for your mistakes going forward. So I'm excited to see where this goes. I'm really excited to see how this patch plays out. And that's that. Yeah, that is the patch. Is this going to be enough to save MK? I honestly don't think that that's enough to save this game. I think Takeda, if he comes out and he's really fun and can hang with the meta, he will bring a lot of characters back. But I think the only thing that can really save this game is like a really dope ass free content drop. Like, guys, I reinstalled this game for y'all, right? I know you guys love this shit, but, like, see, what was the last tournament? Combo Breaker? Like, this game is on life support. No one wants to watch it. No one wants to play it. No one wants to travel to compete. Very few people want to stream it. For the most part, the only people still messing with this game now are, they come in 3 flavors. The people that know it does good on YouTube, so they're trying to like sell out and scam money off of YouTube. The people that are like sellouts that aren't good at anything else, so like they invested everything in their gaming career into Mortal Kombat and they're not good enough to play other games, so they're stuck here. And then there's people like me and you guys that like, we just love Mortal Kombat so much that we are irrationally being taken advantage of. That's what it is. Like, I just love Scorpion and Sub-Zero and Raiden so much that I'm willing to take the abuse from these shithead developers that fucking hate me and want to take advantage of me and steal all of my money. So I let them, because I get to occasionally play as Kung Lao and have a good time. And so, yeah, that's all that's left playing this game. And I don't think any of these changes, the casuals hate cameos. And the casuals hate that the casual content is shit. There's no skins to unlock, and the skins that they have are ugly, and then unlocking them isn't fun. There's no crypt. A lot of casuals love that open world exploring, you know, RPG shit. That's not in here. You're going to sit there and take the crypt out of the game that has to go head to head with Street Fighter having a crypt. Like, literally, these stupid motherfuckers made MK11 with an innovative, game-changing crypt that everyone fucking loved, to the point where their literal direct rival added that shit into the game to compete. And that's the time when Mortal Kombat arrogantly says, no, we don't have to do that. Our fans are stupid enough to give us money anyways. We don't have to make the game good. We'll just throw out some fucking slop. So the casuals are already gone. The pro players that are here are the ones that suck at everything else. Sonic Fox plays this game because he's shit at every other fighting game, and he knows that nobody worth a shit plays this game. Daigo is never going to play Mortal Kombat. Nee is never going to play Mortal Kombat. Arslan Ash will never play Mortal Kombat. So unless there's some rando out in Azerbaijan or Thailand or Polynesia that no one's ever heard of, Sonic Fox basically gets to be the big fish in a small pond for this game for all of eternity. And that's it. Like, the rest of the competitive community, like the really hardcore fighting game players, have moved on to, I've moved on to Tekken is my main game. I'm sorry, I don't give a shit about this. You saw, I can't even do half of the moves in this game. Tekken's my game. I play this shit for the memes, right? Most people have moved on to other fighting games, and unless NetherRealm releases something significant and free, they're not going to pull us away. Tekken is my main game. Street Fighter is now my sub game. Mortal Kombat is something I'm going to do for the memes. And a lot of people feel that way. A lot of people are in that same boat. And so, like, unless they say, okay, Mortal Kombat 1 Aftermath is free. Here's 3 characters and a story mode, and that's dropping for free, playable, you know, today. If they dropped it at EVO, yeah, playable right now. Fucking go crazy. Sorry this game dropped in such a deplorable, embarrassing state. We apologize for the way you have, because again, it's not about what they did or did not do. It is the perception of the fan to the developers. People like me and my community perceive them to be scumbag scam artists who ripped us off with a product that was not as advertised. So the only way they can fix it is if they give us all the shit that's not in this game that should be there. And again, there's a lot of it. Okay? There's a lot of shit in this game that is not here and should be. All I have to do is go over to online and literally load up the online menu, and before I get into a fucking match or anything, we have the Warrior Shrine that is coming soon. It is a year into the game now. This has been there since day one. Nobody even knows what the fuck it is. The fuck is a Warrior Shrine? Are we even gonna, what? They haven't even given us all the shit that they were going to give us. So They would have to, in order to save Mortal Kombat 1, they have to give us all of the shit that they gave us, that they were supposed to. And then if they gave us something above and beyond that, right? If they gave us, and it's got to be significant, right? They've given us free content before. Okay, they gave us the Christmas stage and the Halloween stage. And yeah, that's all they gave us for free, really. Oh, I just got a Molina skin for logging in, right? We got this for free. So like, is it attractive? Does it look cool? It's one of these, right? Pink Molina. I think it's just because of the Overwatch Pink Mercy. This game, sad to say, this game wants to be Overwatch. That's what Mortal Kombat 1 is. Mortal Kombat 1 is a bunch of bitch-ass pussy developers who wish that they made Overwatch. So instead of making Overwatch, they tried to make the fighting game equivalent of Overwatch, and they're just failing left and right. Like, they're just completely stepping on their own fucking feet. So yeah, Overwatch brought back Pink Mercy. It's the only thing anyone's really talking about with that game. So yeah, Overwatch fanboy, femboy, fangirl, whatever you want to call the NetherRealm developers. I prefer to call them troglodytes. Yeah, they got a Pink Molina and they got my $140. So what will save Mortal Kombat is if they give us all of the shit that they were promised. A game that works and functions. It's slowly getting there. It's embarrassing it's taking this long. All of the features and functions that are in the game now just working. You know, Warrior Shrine. All the skins that are in the game that you can't unlock, right? Those just be in, like, do we have fucking Shaolin Monk Liu Kang, right? I don't know if they released that shit or no. He didn't have one, right? It was Luke Raiden, Johnny Cage, right? They don't even have the Shaolin Monk skin. That's like fucking 50% of these 4 characters, Raiden, Johnny, Kung Lao, and Kenshi. 50% of their appearances in the story mode are with costumes you can't even fucking use in the game. Like, they need to give us all of these. Like, it's not even that you have to pay for them. Like, they're just impossible. You just can't unlock them. You cannot unlock Shaolin Monk Kenshi. It's just unavailable. So they need to make all that shit work and available and be functional. And then if they added like a big ass free content drop, that would show the fans that they cared and that they understand that they fucked up and they want to fix it and they want to make it right. Will that happen? I fucking doubt it, dude. I gotta be honest. From what I know about business, not game development, but business, I don't see NetherRealm really lasting very long. I believe that the studio needs money. And that's why they can't release anything for free. This game was in such a sorry rush. So here's how games work. Warner Brothers gives them a budget. Here is $100 million. Go make a game. Okay? They spent all their money and they released a game that didn't work. And they had to spend all the money that they made off of the game funding man hours to patch it to get it working. So whatever money they've made off of this game, they've already blown that. Just having people work overtime, just working extra hours, making, like, instead of making new content they can sell, they've spent all their money fixing content they've already sold, which is costing them money. So NetherRealm, I would imagine their budget is shit. That's why all these patches are a joke, and they're just releasing, like, fucking hardly any content. I mean, if we look, right, if we look at the season of Reptile, it's like obvious. It's obvious that they have no budget. That this game is working on a shoestring budget because those moron entitled fuckhead developers at the top of the food chain, right, Ed Boon, he's a certified millionaire. That asshole got all of his bonuses and all of his money for hitting all of his milestones on this game, went and bought himself a bunch of shit, and now the game is in a sorry state and that money's gone. And you can tell because when this game launched, everybody had new skins. You look at this, dude. Natara, no skin. Ashra, no skin. Kung La, no skin. Oh, they're hidden in invasions. Don't give me that shit. You can't gaslight me. I'm sorry, dog. I watched the presidential debate, and you've been telling me that Joe Biden is fine for 4 years, and we all saw with our own 2 eyes that he's not. So yeah, your gaslighting doesn't work anymore. Okay? I'm almost through the invasions. Let me show you where I'm at in the invasions, just to drive this point home. I'm not done, okay? But look, I got like 2 more. 3 more. I'm halfway, right? We got 1, 2, 3. Oh, no, this is 3. 1, 2, 3 of the platforms done. 3 more platforms to go, and I hardly got any skins. I heard there's a lot of them in this fucking shit, in the end of season tower, where you can grind that forever, and I made a bunch of money off of that video. By the way, there's the GoFundMe link on the chat right now, and if you guys could hit that GoFundMe and give me some donation money, because I'm super poor, and I need your guys' help to keep doing this. But that's my plug. That's my shameless plug for now. I'm about 60% through with this invasion. There aren't really that many skins. They're really like bottlenecking all of the fucking content with this thing. And it's just like, it's so low budget. People are saying it's half-assed, like they didn't work hard on it. I don't think it's that half-assed that they didn't work hard. I'm pretty sure the idiots who fucking run this company work their asses off to give us this sloppy mediocrity. Thanks for the follow, Jonathan FGC. I appreciate it. Yeah, no, the problem with this game is that the budget is shit. Okay, it doesn't make any fucking money for them. They need money bad. And I believe that their Hail Mary play is to release an Aftermath expansion that is super dope, right? Did you complete the shrine? Oh yeah, I did. It took me like 20 minutes. There's nothing in it. There's nothing. I was gone from the game for like, what, 3 months? And I cleared this shrine in like 20 minutes. There's no content. Pros don't like it. Sweatlords like me who aren't trying to be pro and play an Evo, but I like to get good and be sweaty, we don't like it. Casuals hate this game. They need to drop a huge content dump for free as an I'm sorry apology, but they can't afford to do it. They probably think if we drop the dopest Aftermath expansion, it will save Mortal Kombat. We'll drop a dope expansion, we'll give them Noob, Saibot, Cassie Cage, all the characters they want, and then they'll buy that, and that'll fund us keeping this operation afloat. But they're fucked, dude. Because I've already said I won't pay a penny back to them, dude. If they release an Aftermath expansion, I am going to go out of my way to make it a stigmatized thing to play that shit. I'll still run a league for MK1. But if you pick any character outside of the first season, I'm gonna shit on you. I'm a clown. I'm going to make it embarrassing and humiliating for you to buy that expansion pack, and I'm not the only one. People are already talking about boycotting the fuck out of that expansion. I'm not just going to boycott it. I'm going to actively mock anybody who buys it and supports it. Not for playing Mortal Kombat. We can play Mortal Kombat without the DLC, and we will continue to do so. But if you give them a penny, you're a bitch. I don't like you. Please stop watching my content. From now on, we give them no more money. We only give them embarrassment and humiliation in hopes that eventually, if they make it up to us, then by all means. If they drop an Aftermath and they say Aftermath is on the house, but please buy Season 2, I'll buy Season 2. I'm saying it now. Look me in the eye, Ed Boon, you fuckhead. I'll buy Season 2. You release Aftermath for free? I'll buy Season 2. But they need to release a big, substantial, free content patch above and beyond what they need to add to get this thing going. And that will fix Mortal Kombat. That will save Mortal. Dude, I'm telling you, if they went to Evo and they said Aftermath 2 is free, get in there. Get in there right now. If you have Mortal Kombat 1, get in there. Find out what happens with Noob Saibot. It is free. Thank you. We are so sorry. We fucked up this release. We want to make it better. Go, Jade, unlocked right now. Get in there. I guarantee you, everybody will be like, all right, let's give them another chance. I, for one, I'm saying it now. I'll show up and be like, you know what? I accept your apology, Mortal Kombat. I will stop making fun of Ed Boon for being a sellout piece of shit. He's still a sellout piece of shit, but I'll stop talking about it. You know, if they do that, that will save Mortal Kombat. I don't know how likely that is. Warner Brothers is hurting right now. Their stock is taking a shit because they went woke and they go broke just like everybody else. So Warner Brothers is hurting. They need money. All of their franchises are not making them money. Nobody wants Suicide Squad. People don't give a shit about DC Comics. Everybody's fucking done, right? The only things that they have that are making them money are like Mortal Kombat and Harry Potter. Because like Mad Max, that bombed, right? I haven't even seen it. I heard it was actually dope. I loved the first one with Furiosa. I loved it. I was kind of excited for this movie. But I don't go to the theaters because fuck Hollywood. You guys deserve to die. Like, I'm sorry. Hollywood deserves to be poor. Now that I'm homeless and begging the internet, please internet, give me some money and hit my GoFundMe campaign. Now that I'm begging for money, I show no mercy to Hollywood. Fuck you. You guys can die homeless and nameless. Because I'm pretty sure I'm going to die homeless and nameless. And so I just want to share. I just want to share my love with you, Hollywood. And so, yeah, dude, all of Warner Brothers is taking a shit. There's an entire media market collapse that is going on. There will be another video game market collapse that will be the likes of which we have never seen. It will dwarf the 80s collapse. So that market collapse in the 80s that everybody talks about was going almost killed video games. That is happening. That is going to happen within the next year or two to the video game industry. And I think it's going to be a lot worse, and I don't know what companies are going to survive. If you're a Mortal Kombat fan and you have a lot of fucking money, now is the time to start thinking of buying out the franchise. I'm serious. There's only like fucking 20 of you guys watching my stream right now, but what I'm waiting for is the franchise to be sold. I believe that's our best possibility. If they sell Mortal Kombat to another company and we can do, and the other company is willing to invest in it, that will save it. Outside of that, I don't see this game going back to prominence. This is an old franchise. So the people who have nostalgia for Mortal Kombat are a dying breed. It's me. Look at my hair, okay? I'm old, dude. I'm old, okay? People like me that are suckers that will spend money on this shit like a fucking idiot, just willy-nilly, because I love Liu Kang, man. I love Katana, right? We're a dying breed. There ain't many of us. And the kids, they're not having this shit. They're not fucking with this. You know, they're saying in the news that the kids are leaning conservative en masse. And this is not about politics, okay? I'm not trying to talk about politics in the sense that I'm taking a stance or talking about this or that in a positive or negative thing. I'm calling it the way I see it. Right now, the youth in America, which is the strongest economy in the world, is leaning conservative and being very anti-woke, anti-progressive, anti-socialist, anti-left-wing. Now, I've always been that way, so I'm happy to see that the young people are starting to wise up. But that cultural shift, that pendulum swing is going very, very far in a direction that is ridiculous. And people are now, I don't think that this game is woke, but it has the reputation, okay? Because they want to go and be very public about gay characters in this game, and they want Stephanie McMahon to be their tranny poster child for the development team, this game now has the reputation of being woke trash with the youth, who are the future, who are the people that will actually keep this shit going, okay? That when I die, the young people who are saying Mortal Kombat 1 is woke trash, those are the only ones they're the ones that's going to take over. And so that's the problem Mortal Kombat has, man. It's going to be very hard to get around that stigma. We see it now with Dr. Disrespect, right? Now that he's outed as a pedophile, it's done. It's done. Right? Nobody's going to go back and give him a chance. Mortal Kombat has been outed as woke by a very extremist generation. Okay, as a conservative, I'm calling it out, dude. These kids, these conservative kids, they're fucking crazy, dude. They're extreme. Okay? And if they think this game is woke trash, then those conservative kids these days are insane. Because this game is not woke. It is trash, but it's not woke. And those people aren't going to give this franchise a pass. The youth, right? The kids now that are talking about skibbity toilet memes, they're not going to touch this shit, dude. They're not. They're going to be like, fuck Mortal Kombat, it's woke trash. Even now, I can tell you now, every time I make Mortal Kombat videos, I make the comments, you're an idiot. You're playing this woke trash. I post this shit on Rumble. I get people coming in. Why you play this woke trash and then N-word, 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 N-word? Oh yeah, this game is woke, man. They made all the fucking characters look like gorillas. And I'm like, dude, where do you get the balls to say that shit in my fucking comments? You know what I mean? Like, nah. No, we don't do that. But now that's, and unfortunately, what do? As a Mortal Kombat community, well, how do we fight that shit? How do we fight the fact that this game is now no longer cool? That you are now lame if you play this shit. You're a woke tard. You're not cool. No one wants to hang out with you. You're a sellout. And I admit, swallowed my words and came back. I came back because I was like, fuck, dude, I see the tides changing. I see the winds of change. I watched the presidential debate. And if I throw in with that mob and start calling this, you know, being negative for Mortal Kombat, you know, and I start shitting on this, it's just going to die. I sat there and I thought long and hard, dude, do I want Mortal Kombat to die? Because I'm helping it. I'm helping it, right? Let's look at my videos, right? Look at my videos, right? We pull up my YouTube and you look at the videos I post and they're negative about Mortal Kombat. I am shitting on this game non-stop. Non-stop. Okay? Non-stop. I've been shitting on this game and people, you look at my comments, people are agreeing with me. Every negative thing I've been saying about Mortal Kombat, people have been on my side and agreeing with me. And that's the problem. Because, yeah, if I wanted to kill Mortal Kombat, then I was doing a really fucking good job about that. And I had to take a long, hard look in the mirror and be like, yo, dude, am I going to do that? Am I going to be a part of that? Am I going to kill Mortal Kombat? Am I going to participate? Am I going to join? Right? Because as much as I make fun of the woke tards, these fucking alt-right idiots are ruining shit. These incels, the manosphere, the Andrew Tates. Fuck those people, man. They're ruining shit just as bad as the woke. And I was like, yo, if I throw in with them, I start talking like them, I start sounding like them, I'm going to help kill Mortal Kombat. Is that what I want? And that is not what I want. I got morals. I'm not going to compromise them. I'm not going to sell out. I'm not buying no more fucking content. I'm not giving NetherRealm a penny. I'm not going to stop until every one of those motherfuckers is homeless. Homeless. I want Ed Boon on the streets begging for money over the internet just like me. I want them to suffer. Like I said, I am very religious now. And like Jesus, I want to see them cast off where there is weeping and gnashing of teeth. But I do not want Mortal Kombat to die. I don't want this to be another forgotten franchise like Soul Calibur. Okay? I don't want Mortal Kombat to turn into Soul Calibur. I don't want Mortal Kombat to turn into all the other fucking franchises, right? All the other franchises that I love that are gone. They're gone because our boycotts were effective. Our boycotts were effective, and now they're gone. And Mortal Kombat's about to be there. So I ask you guys now, which side do you want to be? Okay? Because the libtards are getting made fun of left and right. We've won. We're on the right side of history. But do we want to become the monsters that we've been complaining about? I don't want to be that. I don't. So here's what I'm going to do. I have been going nonstop for 2 hours and I'm fucking hype. The stream did not die. I got through the whole patch notes and everything was great. So here's a quick update. I got a wire. I need a splitter so I can plug the wire into the PC and the PlayStation. I got a 75-foot cable and I had to do some fucking I'm on the 3rd floor, man. God bless the family that has taken me in. They understand the stream. They understand what I'm doing. They're supporting me and they've given me the go ahead to set up a wire, to get a wired connection, to continue the stream. So big love and blessings to them for that. Thank you so much. I still need to get a coupler, and I have a wire going into the computer so that the stream will work. The PlayStation is on Wi-Fi. I'm in this forest, dude. It's hard find. I went to like 3 hardware stores yesterday and electronic stores trying to find a fucking splitter for a fucking Cat9 Ethernet. It's a simple thing. Every office has these. There are none for an hour's worth of driving. I have to order one that'll take a week to get here, right? Once I have that, it'd be like I never fucking moved, except I won't have the green screen. I don't have any room for the green screen, but it'll be just like I never fucking left. So we're going to go right back on schedule. Okay. We're going to go and we're going to do the league, just like I said in my last video that nobody watched. We're going to do it at the time that I said that we're going to do it. We're going to do it for as much as I said we're going to do it. Fridays and Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. We're doing all the fighting games. We're doing them all. We don't give a fuck. We're going hard. I'm playing MK, Street Fighter, and Tekken. Now, you guys know I got to fucking get up and move every 2 hours or my knee starts killing me. So I do. We are at 2 hours. I got to go and take a quick break. I'm going to cut the stream. I'm going to restart the stream. We're going to get back in about, you'll get a notification, okay? But I want you guys to let me know in the chat what you all want to do. So I have MK loaded in right now, okay? I plan we can do a lobby with this, or we could do a lobby for Tekken or a lobby for Street Fighter. Let me know. I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to get me some more water. And if you guys, whatever you guys want to get down, I'm down to do it. I'm going to try to stream until 7. Like I said, I'm going to push my body to the fucking limit today, people. We're going to the limits. Checking up with chat real quick before I take a break. Wheeler, Didazel, good looking out, my man. I appreciate the dono, Mr. Wheeler. I'm definitely going to put that money to good use. And hopefully, that is the first of many donos. I appreciate it, Wheeler. Thank you very much. And those of you, Jonathan FGC says NetherRealm doesn't know what to do. I agree. Elrod says there were 6 Quan skins, right? Where are they? Where are they? I want them. So, and TC, thank you for coming on back. Saucy, we're going to get back in it. Those of you guys that stuck with me through Mortal Kombat, me and you, we're going to fucking save Mortal Kombat. Those of you that have joined on with Tekken, hell yeah, dog, Tekken's taking over the world, and we're going to be at a front row seat for that. And those of you that are curious about Street Fighter, I've been going hard, dude. You guys have no idea. I got to admit, I'm fucking liking the game. I'm really liking the game. I'm enjoying it. I will concede this, though, okay? I enjoy Mortal Kombat 1 more than Street Fighter 6. So that's my hot take. If I were to rank the 3 big games right now, the most awesome is Tekken. The second would be Mortal Kombat 1, and then the third would be Street Fighter. Street Fighter edges out Mortal Kombat for an endorsement. Like, I would tell you to go buy Street Fighter instead of Mortal Kombat because Street Fighter functions. But if Mortal Kombat worked, I enjoy the gameplay of this game more than Street Fighter. Playing Street Fighter, and I'm having a blast. I'm loving it. But all it does is make me think, dude, I could do so much more shit in MK. Like, dude, if this were MK, I could fucking do an overhead into a fucking this or that, right? I'm playing Street Fighter and I'm playing Nooch and I'm enjoying myself, and the whole time I'm just like, bro, if this were MK, I could be like, fuck you, Zangief. So yeah, I enjoy Mortal Kombat more than Street Fighter. I do not think that MK1 is a superior product to Street Fighter. I think it is an inferior product, but I think the gameplay is better. So that being said, I'm going to take a quick break. When I come back, you'll get a notification and we will get right back into the action. Whatever you guys want to play, I'll just swap discs, okay? But I want to thank you guys for coming out, and I also want to get a fucking holy shit, because the stream didn't die, baby. We went 2 hours and the stream didn't die. My hope, my plan is on League Day, okay? We do 11 to 7, 11, 12, 1, right? So from 11 to 1 p.m., Mortal Kombat Beef Set League, we take a break. From 2 to 4, or whatever, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, Street Fighter Beef Set League. And then after that, from 5 to 7, Tekken main event. So I made Tekken go last because most of the SoCal players are coming in later, and a lot of the MK players are from the EU anyway, so they want to play earlier in the morning. That is the schedule I am working with. That is the plan going forward. That is how we're going to take over and save esports. We're going to go in and we're going to show all the other streamers why they suck, and we're going to tell them, man, we're going to let them know, I need your help. I can't do this on my own. I get suppressed. Y'all got to share this shit out. You got to tell all your friends. Okay, go get your friends. Not right now, okay? This is the beef set. We're building to it. But once the beef set league starts on July 26th, I'm sticking with that date, guys. I'm sticking with that date. July 26th, start spreading the news, start building the hype, save the date, let all your homies know. We need to have a big fucking showing for our first fucking day, right? We need to go hard and make a statement. Not just me as a streamer, but you guys as a community. We've got to let the world know that we're just better than them, and our streams are more fun. So, word needs to be spread. I'm going to go smoke. I'll be right back. And when we get back, we'll get a lobby for whatever the hell you guys want.